Wow. We're here. It's Wednesday afternoon. It's been a blur, but what an exciting couple of days it's been. I hope you've all enjoyed your time here in Montreal for the second Canadian Circular Economy Summit, and hopefully not the last. But big cheers to everybody for the energy that you brought, for the conversations. Hope you found some value in those conversations and some of the sessions. And I know there was a lot to take in. I'll let Joanne just say a couple words.
Yeah, obviously, we've got a lot of folks to thank, and we've got a laundry list to do so. But if I may, I'd like to ask Kevin Deere to come back up to help close up, and the same way that he did to open.
Come full circle.
That's right. That's right, full circle.
So everything is about sacred dance and song. I'm going to start out with a little song that honors the birds that are coming back at this particular time, and we call this Robin Dance. Yo ho, yo, gayuani ho, gayuani ho, gayuani ho, gayo, gayuani ho, gayuani ho, gayuani ho, yo ho. So with that being said, before I go any further, this was the first time I was introduced to the Canadian Circular Economy Summit. It was just about maybe just over a month and a half ago that Paul reached out to me, and then I had a discussion with him and Joanne, and here I am. So now when I went to the exhibits and I'm not going to say almost, everything that I heard, with everybody in different organizations and individuals, what you're doing, you all deserve a round of applause. You know, the title is called Tackling Canada's Biggest Challenges Through a Circular Economy. When we ask ourselves, how did we get in this, if I would say, predicament? Because if we go back in time, we were all connected to our mother. Every nation on this entire earth had different ceremonies, songs, and dances that understood that what sustains us every day is this unconditional love that we receive from our common mother, Mother Earth. But something happened. Somewhere along the line, there was a prevailing attitude that some humans decided to think that they were superior to the natural world, to things that fly, that swim, that creepeth. And as a result of that attitude of superiority, we got ourselves into a mess. You know, our ancestors, I'm lucky today that I'm here, I can speak my language. We still have our sacred ceremonies, our songs, our dances, our creation story. Everything that helps me to understand, well, who am I? Where do I come from? Why am I here? And where am I going when I leave this place? And we always look to nature because the answers are all there. Our Earth Mother is wrong. Our elder brother, sun is wrong. Our grandmother, the moon, is wrong. That's all extended family. And we come from this great mystery, this source of life that nobody knows for sure what it is. But we know we originate from someplace and we're going to go back, and that's forever. So anyways, that being said, what I want to just talk about was this, we talk about take, make, waste. We're looking at reuse, recycle, repair. And now we have to ask ourselves, so what are some of the things then that we have to start to begin to maybe look at more, if I would say, in a holistic point of view? Because we're all in this together now. There is no separation. Where's my clicker? Oh, okay. I'll go. Next one, the one with my grandfather. Okay. So this is my late grandfather, and as I had mentioned yesterday, there was a time when I didn't believe none of his stuff. So my grandpa comes to me in dreams and tells me all these kinds of stuff and all of that about how it is when we pass on and go into the ancestor realm. And I was trying to allude to yesterday. So just imagine, we're all going to pass on one day. We're all going to be part of that ancestor realm. Now, in the center of that circle is a little dot that represents the earth. And we're always intervening from spirit to physical, back and forth forever. Because my grandpa said to me, he said that if we, the ancestor realm, or that sacred energy, whatever you want to call it, angels, saints, or whatever, ever stop interacting with this physical world, there is no life. The other thing that happened about 5 years ago now in May, because this is hanging in my house when you come into my entrance, I can't explain this, but it was something almost kind of like dropped off there and said, we're going to give you a deeper spiritual confirmation here. That dot that is in the center, don't look at it as the earth, but look at it as a human egg. Those ancestors that are all sitting around in a circle, don't look at it as ancestors, look at it as human sperm. So the sperm connects with the egg, and what happens? Poof, look around, the miracle of life. How beautiful it is. Now, if the sperm and the egg don't connect, there's no life. And I thought that was pretty deep, and that was pretty profound. So now, when we look at the United Nations, we have all these men. Now there's women that are part of that all come together, but they're looking at that whole perspective from divisions. You know, the different geopolitical ways of knowing, being, understanding, and all of that, as opposed to saying, look, we are all spiritual beings having this human experience. And when we understand that, we are all sacred. You know, there's 215 kids that resurrected up from the dead in British Columbia. Every child matters. Well, you know what? Every human being matters. This is walking clay that is infused with spirit, so our spirit can express itself. And we shouldn't wait till we die and we're dead and we all become common clay or common ground to understand that while we are alive, each and every one of us, we are the eyes of the clay, the ears of the clay, the voice of the clay, and we should understand our relationship with that clay, because that clay sustains us every day. Now, in a monetary system, it's hard because we've been now led down this path that says, nah, we're just going to explore, exploit, and we're going to do all this stuff. So now we're in this, but we have a responsibility, as I said, to those future generations to ensure that when they will be born, they will inherit a happy, safe, clean, beautiful, peaceful, loving home. So now we have to put our finest, best collective thinking together and ask ourselves, how do we get out of this? When I started out yesterday, I said, you know, our people, we influenced Benjamin Franklin and some of those forming fathers of the Constitution, if you will, that started the United States. But they didn't take our knowledge and our wisdom in its entirety. Now, if we, like the scientist said, if we adopt this indigenous wisdom of the entire world, then there is a hope. But that means we have to make some radical changes in some of the things that we're going to have to do, because we're going to have to go with less. My spiritual mentor is a man. His name is Tom Porter from our sister community of Kwazasne. And here's what Tommy says when we talk about this stuff. He says, you know who my heroes are? I said, who, Tom? He said, the Amish. Horse and buggy, no electricity. They're still living off the land. We're the ones that kind of got away from it. In the earlier conversation, I heard some of the, discussion that was talking. Well, we have to start to really have a serious look, because some of these things are a direct assault to the environment. Now it's going to be a hard way to do that, but if we start to look ahead and if we are serious about this future, then we could truly make it the way it is. So anyways, I just want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to be here. I encourage us to do what we could, starting with ourselves, because we can't change anybody. The only thing we could do is start with ourselves and say, so what's our relationship to the natural world, to the water, to the fish, and all of that? Because that's what sustains us. And the only thing that our Mother Earth asks of us every day is to just have this attitude of gratitude. You can hug a tree, you can talk to the plants. They're alive too. This Earth Mother continues to sustain us. Whatever we take, we give back, and just be happy. Yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery. All we have to is the power of now. So what can we do together to make it better? Because there's no separation. We're all in this together. So the best of love, peace, health, happiness to all of you, to Till the next time, we'll gather in this sacred council, because this is a council, what's happening right now, and we have a responsibility. We're in each other's sacred presence to talk about what we could do as we exit this place, because we're all going to exit one day, and we look at our tracks and we say, I did something to contribute to leave this place in a better condition than when we inherited. So with that, merci beaucoup. Thank you very much.
Okay, we also just want to give some thanks to some of the people that helped bring this event to life and really put it together. So maybe I'll just start by thanking all of the speakers. We had over 180 speakers, I think, come together for this conference to bring the rich programming together, and that included some of our partner tracks as well. We had over 50 sponsors, so thank you to everybody that helped make this financially possible for bringing this event together. That took a lot of planning over the last year and a bit. Thank you to all the volunteers in the room with your orange lanyards and for helping the event run smoothly and answer all the questions and bringing the group and showing people around. Thank you also to the Fairmont staff, who I know have been working very hard, Maud and Natalie and others. Altitude C, a big round of applause for our logistics team and the AV team. Marc-André, Fanny, Emily, the team that really came together over the last few months and supported also the Quebec Pavilion and the very cool design that was happening in the room next door. All of our partners from Quebec, so the key partners in terms of la Ville de Montréal, Récit Québec, RRECQ, and CERIAC. So thank you very much. Merci beaucoup pour les Québécois. Enchanté. And also to our partnered tracks, the Canada Plastics Pact and Fashion Takes Action. And I know that the textiles track just ended after 2 days of very intense and rich programming. And Kelly didn't get a chance to really say a proper goodbye to the delegation there. So she wanted to just come up and have 2 minutes to say a quick thanks and goodbye. So over to her.
Thank you and good afternoon, everyone. Over the past 2 days, Fashion Takes Action has had the opportunity to lead the textiles and apparel track. And while only some of you were able to join us for these sessions, the conversations reached far beyond just one industry. For nearly a decade, FTA hosted the WEAR Conference, Canada's only event dedicated to sustainable fashion. In 2023, we made the decision to bring that chapter to an end and channel our efforts into this broader summit. And it was absolutely the right move. Because circularity isn't just a fashion challenge, it's a systems challenge. And it's going to take all of us to solve it. Through the Canadian Circular Textiles Consortium, the CCTC, we're working with over 120 stakeholders from across Canada to accelerate circularity in textiles. Many of those partners are here, have joined us over the past 2 days, and we're incredibly grateful for their insights and their collaboration. We also hope this summit will inspire new stakeholders to get involved because the work ahead requires shared effort and bold cross-sector partnerships. In our sessions, we explored how systems are designed, how they can evolve, and when necessary, how they can be dismantled and rebuilt with intention. Textiles are one of the fastest growing waste streams globally and here in Canada, but they're also deeply personal. Every one of us wears clothes, and that gives each of us a role in driving the change that's necessary. So even if textiles aren't your primary focus, I hope our track offered a glimpse of what's possible when we work together to rethink complex systems. A big thank you to CELC and CIC for their leadership in producing the summit and for partnering with us on the textiles track. We're proud to be a part of this collective effort and excited to keep the momentum going. Thanks again, and now I'll hand it back to our hosts.
A big thank you also to the nearly 1,000 delegates that joined us from right across the country. Thanks to all of you and to the international joiners as well. And I just want to send out one big thanks to the CLC team, and in particular Kiana Klassen for all her extremely dedicated work for everything from marketing, communications, speaker management, to all the site tours and everything else. So thank you, Kiana. Thank you.
And I would like to also personally thank the CCIC team, and in particular Andrew Telfer, for putting up with the craziness of the last year and to make such huge contributions and support over the last 2 days as well. So thank you very much. I mentioned in our opener yesterday morning that we really used the Circular Economy Action Plan that Paul and I co-authored to do a gut check in terms of how we're doing against things that we committed in our first summit in 2023. Are those 5 key enablers still the ones that we should be focusing on? And the 30 actions, specific actions that we had committed to. And we crafted the agenda over the last 2 days against that. So I just want to call out to all of you who took time to be with us, if you could take time to look at that action plan, as we will, to again evaluate whether those are the things that we should be focused on, whether some of them that are in there should rise to the top in terms of priority. What's important to you? Is your work and your innovations reflected in that plan? And does it need to be adjusted? So we will be sending out a survey to you post-summit. When you get back, please take time to really take a look at that action plan and to make contributions to the survey so that we can gather all your thoughts and really reflect your priorities as well. The other thing I just want to say is if you would have asked us maybe a week ago if we wanted to do this in 2027, we probably would have said no, I think. But over the last two days, I personally have been incredibly humbled by all of the activities that have been happening here, all the commitments that you've made, the overwhelming response we had from the speakers that we asked, the sponsors that stepped up, the skilled moderators that helped us navigate these meaty conversations, and of course, all of you who took time out of your very busy schedules to be with us, to be part of the solution. So Paul and I have decided we will do this again in 2027. And the question will be where? So if anybody has any suggestions or would like to come forward, there, the shout outs are happening. Please come chat to us about where you think we should take this. We really want it to be a national feel. So we're happy to take it to corner to corner to corner or coast to coast to coast. But please put it in your calendar, spring of 2027. We'll see you then. Thanks so much.
And just a few final comments for closing in terms of last steps here. So Joanne did mention we will follow up with the group here with a survey. It's also a survey to give us some feedback. What did you like about the sessions? What could we do better? What topics resonated? Were there any special quotes or things that you really took away? It would be great if you could help us complete that so we can make the event better and better every time. We also are working with our partner Unwrap It to incentivize. So everybody that completes the survey will automatically donate $1 to a charity of your choice. So a little incentive. And we're also working with Unwrap It to give away zero waste gifts in terms of speaker gifts. So thanks to Unwrap It for that. We also really want to put out a huge special thanks to Sparks and the Sparks team, Hamish and Alex, for putting together the first ever Circular Economy magazine with lots of great content. Such a cool publication and a great keepsake from the event, and it's available in digital format, but also there's, I think, just a few hard copies left outside the doors, so if you didn't grab one already, try and grab or fight for it. And then lastly, we just want to make sure we get all our lanyards back, because as we mentioned, they are from a rental, a library service, a lanyard as a service. So just right now, if you don't mind taking off your lanyards and either putting them on the table where you are or hanging them on the seat next to you, we'll go around and collect all those. And for anybody that brought your own lanyard, even better. Thank you very much for that. And finally, just some site tours for anybody that's registered for the site tours going out tomorrow morning. You will have received an email, so make sure you check for that for your final reminder, and just be in the lobby the lobby downstairs here a few minutes before your tour departs. And have a great rest of your week, a great long weekend ahead, and thanks again. Continue the great work, and we look forward to the next steps. Thank you.